Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 4th, 8:14 a.m. I just picked up my first offer of the day. It is $9 for 4 miles for Casey's. Gas station / pizza. Just picked up the order. It was pretty much ready right when I got there. And we'll get this dropped off. $9 for 4 miles. Not a bad way to start the day. Yesterday I stayed home and did some things around the house during the day, and then I went out for a few hours last night. I did not make a video. I just went out and grinded. But we're going to be out here all day today. At least that's the plan. As per usual for a full day, $200 is the goal. As long as we can stay out there, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't reach it. It's a Thursday. Thursdays are generally when it starts to pick up for the weekend and get a little bit busier. However, that was not the case last Thursday. Thursday was pretty dead. Usually if that happens, if one Thursday is slow, usually, but not always, means the next Thursday is going to be prosperous. So let's hope that we can cruise the $200 today and get a nice head start for the weekend. Drop off complete. Total pay was $9.50 for 4 miles. I swear it said $9 for 4 miles when I accepted it. I guess it could have been a hidden tip, but it was $5 dash pay and then $4.50 tip. So DoorDash covered most of the pay, which is nice to see. In that case, when the tips, that wasn't a terrible tip. It was $4.50 for a pretty close distance. But so we're starting off $9.50. Not bad. Well, it's been about 15 minutes, and I've had a handful of undesirable orders come through. Finally ended up taking one of those undesirable orders. $7.12 for 6.5 miles. Panera Bread, it's not a good order, but I don't feel like sitting here, and it's taking me to a different zone where there's more of a cluster of like Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's and like more into a more densely populated area of town where maybe there'll be some offers down there. There usually is, but usually they're just not good. I like this area because you got like IHOP, Cracker Barrel, you got like some bigger restaurants that generally have bigger tips, but so far not today. That's unfortunate. So we'll go pick up this Panera and we'll move around in a different part of town and see what it brings. All right, well, that worked out. So taking this offer actually ended up being a good thing because they gave me an add-on. This is an Uber Eats order, by the way. It was $7.12 for 6.5 miles, the original offer. And then they added on a Burger King order, $8.09 for 4.5 miles additional. So not bad. I'll take it. Now this just turned into a sorry, Uber knocked me off. I get that when I'm doing an Uber order and I pull up to the restaurant and it's what's the word? Recognizes that I'm at the location. It automatically overlays over everything and knocks my videos off. So if I'm currently recording, anyway, this person is freaking jamming next to me. We're at Panera. Where's it at? There it is. Panera. We'll grab this. This guy's fucking got the music cranked. Not a complaint, just an observation. Let's go grab it. So a bit of a rarity at Panera these days. The order was actually ready. So that's good news. Now I just gotta figure out which way I want to go to get to this Burger King, because it's downtown. I like to take State Street because there's too many lights and they're not sequenced. So I don't know. We'll see. It's 13 minutes away, so we got a bit of a drive ahead of us. Okay, so I'm a little over halfway to the Burger King to pick up the second order, which reminded me of an order that I accepted last night when I wasn't making a video. The first offer I received for Dinner Rush was, I think it was $9.03 for 3 miles exactly for this exact Burger King. So I accepted, obviously, $3 a mile, good order. And I drive all the way down there. I didn't look at the order until I got into the restaurant. They got like 3 or 4 DoorDash bags lined up on the counter. So I just go to casually look at the order in my phone. It was 18 Whoppers and like a kid's meal and like a milkshake and like a bunch of other stuff. And it was nowhere near being ready, obviously. And it was like 5:15, so it was like prime Dinner Rush kicking off. So I ended up just immediately dropping it. It was like, for multiple reasons. Number one, I wasn't going to be ready for at least 10 or 15 minutes. Number two, that's a $7 tip for about $200 worth of food. Them Whoppers are like, I mean, it was Whopper Wednesday. I don't know if they honor that in the Uber Eats app. But even then, with everything they ordered, it was going to be like a $100 order, and they tipped $7. I was just like, it rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, you know what? You're gonna order all these 18 Whoppers, but you can't, give me a decent enough tip. Granted, the dollars to miles were good or whatever. I don't know. It's just the principle for me. It's like, bro. And then on top of that, I was gonna have this wait time, which I wasn't willing to do. So I ended up dropping it. Partially my own fault for not looking at the order after I accepted it and then driving all the way down there, but no big deal. Ended up having a good day. Or a good night. I made $80 in about 3 hours. About 3.5 hours, I guess, because I took that order, drove down there, declined it, which wasn't in my hot zone. It was like in another part of town. And then I drove all the way to my hot zone. So I was online for about 30 minutes before I actually started an order that I completed. But still ended up being a pretty decent night. So, yeah, when you get a big order like that, the tip's just okay. It's just, I don't know, it's just rubs me the wrong way, I guess. Look at me breaking my own rules again. I'm at the grocery store. That double order from Uber Eats took me down to the south part of town, the very south edge of town. And they sent me this grocery order, $14.42 for 2.1 miles. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I do not like doing these. But I'm kind of down here where there's not a whole lot of action. And I figured, hey, instead of, wasting the gas, not getting paid to drive all the way back to my hot zone, let's try another grocery order. So let's see how this goes. DoorDash lets you look at the items before you accept, so that's part of the reason why I took it, because most of the items are pretty simple and clear cut. So hopefully this goes smoothly. We'll find out soon enough. All right, well, shopping is complete. It is 9:50 a.m. I don't know what time it went in there. I forgot to look. That probably took me about 30 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes. There's a few meat items that were kind of a pain because I had to actually manually enter the codes and stuff because they weren't scanning. Found pretty much everything. There was, except for one thing, there were some sausage patties, like a big box of sausage patties that they ordered that they were out of stock. Never fails. There's always something out of stock. I think a big part of that is people order things that are on sale, which I don't blame them, but a lot of the times those sale items are picked over. So now that I think about it, most of the time when I can't find items, that's the case. They're usually on sale. But we're on the way to do the delivery now. It's an apartment, which is scary. And what's even scarier, the apartment number is number 16. So I'm just going to go ahead and guess this is a top floor apartment delivery. Now, they didn't order a bunch of like big heavy items. They did order one 20-pack of those Hug like fruit drink barrels or whatever, the little colorful barrels that we all loved as kids. They didn't have any of the 20 packs, but they had 40 packs. So they authorized that as a substitution. So I have a giant 40-pack of those. That's going to be pretty heavy to haul upstairs. But other than that, it's just everything's in bags. But we'll see how it goes. All right, well, I got that dropped off. And I got lucky. It was not a third floor apartment. It was just like one of those complexes where everything's just like one level and it's like 1 through 16 or whatever. It's like in a circle kind of thing. I don't know, it kind of felt bad. I started dropping off the groceries at the front door or whatever. I did the first load and she opened the door and started grabbing them. She's like, thank you. I'm like, of course. So then I get the second load. It was 2 loads I had to carry to the door. And the door was wide open. So I set it in front of the door. And there's 3 little kids inside. Cute little kids. Friendly little kids. Probably 6, 7, 8 years old. And it was kind of sad. There was almost like nothing in this apartment. And you could tell they'd been living there for... It had an odor to it. Just like an odor of just like dirtiness, kind of. And all 3 of them were just like sitting in camping chairs in the room. There was no furniture. This is just the living room that I saw, like right when you opened the door. I just couldn't help it. The door was wide open. You could just see in there. They were saying hi to me, so I was saying hi to them. I mean, they're being fed because Mom just ordered a bunch of groceries, so they're fed at least. But man, it was, I don't know, it was unfortunate. It was not clean. It wasn't necessarily like dirty looking because there was nothing in there. So it was just kind of weird. Oh, I better go straight here. But I don't know. She was a super sweet lady. Kids were super sweet. I hope they're all right. You worry about stuff like that. At least I do. Feel bad for people. Not everybody, I do DoorDash for a living, and I feel like I have a pretty good living. So people that, are struggling like that, I don't know, makes me feel bad. But at least the kids are in good spirits and they're getting fed, so that's good. The daughter requested a McGriddle, so I'm going to run to McDonald's real quick and get her a McGriddle, drop it off at the house. I'm at $38. It is exactly 10 o'clock right now. So we're pretty much right around our $40 goal. Hopefully we can get one more offer before 11 to exceed our $40 goal by 11 a.m. But yeah, unfortunate situation. At least by the looks of it. I hope they're all okay. See you soon. Well, I have a minute. Kind of want to address something. I've been talking bad about shopping orders and how I don't think they're worth it or whatever, which I still, have my doubts. I say that I dislike them. I actually don't dislike them. I actually enjoy, doing the shopping. It's a change of pace for food delivery. You get out of the car, you get to move around a little bit. Lord knows I need that. I actually enjoy it. It's kind of fun. Shopping at other people's expense. But, I don't know. My goal these days, with gas being this high, is just to make as much money as possible using the least amount of gas. I think that's pretty much everybody's goal in this current economy. So $14.42, which is that is what the payout was for 2 miles. Yeah, it took me probably 40 minutes from when I accepted it to when I dropped it off, maybe 45 minutes to make $14, but I didn't use any damn gas. So it's it took some time, but I'm trading the time to save money on gas. So I guess when you look at it that way, it is kind of worth it to do these shopping orders, as long as the pay is worth it. If that was paying $6 or $7, no way. But so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. I'm getting a DoorDash. See you in a second. So I got McDonald's dropped off to the little one. She's at home playing Roblox. Imagine that, 12-year-old playing Roblox. Came back out. This is the first offer not first offer, but this first offer I've accepted since the grocery order. It is exactly 11 o'clock. This is $12 for 4.3 miles for Tom and Jerry's, which is like a Euro hot dog burger type joint. A lot of fried food, mozzarella sticks, mushrooms, that kind of thing. So we'll go grab that. That is going to one of my best customers. I've delivered to this person at least 50 times. And she lives right by my house, actually. So this has put me at $50. I think there's usually a little hidden tip in here. So at least $50. So, not a bad start. I sat over there by Jason's Deli hoping to get like a catering order or something, but nothing came through. Got this one instead, but I'll take it. See you shortly. All right, well, that was a bit of a headache. I get to Tom and Jerry's. I usually don't have an issue with the store when I pick up from there, but they apparently their tablet was acting funky, according to them, and they didn't even have the order, so they had to print out the ticket real quick. Fortunately, it was like a lot of cold items, like cold sandwiches and stuff that was in the order, and a couple of fried things that just take a few minutes to fry up, like mini tacos and something else. But ended up only having to wait like maybe 10-12 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. So that's complete. We're at about $50 now. This did take me back towards the house, and I'll have to drive a little ways back towards the restaurants. That part kind of sucks, but I think it's going to be a busy Thursday because DoorDash was blowing up while I was in there waiting. I had to pause it because I kept getting offers. So we'll get a little closer to the hot zone, and I'll let you know what I get. Sorry about this angle. I just got another offer right when I got back to my hot zone. I got an offer from this breakfast joint that's like right by where this last drop-off was. So I'm basically doing a full circle, turning around to pick this up. This is $7.94 for 3.4 miles. Breakfast spot, very popular breakfast spot called Johnny Pancakes. So we'll go grab this and put us at like $58. All right, we're at a place called Mary's Market. Started making my way towards my hot zone after dropping off that Johnny Pancakes order, and we got this $7.45 for 4.1 miles. Decent little order. Unfortunately, this place is usually a little bit of a wait, but we'll see if it's ready. So I got the Mary's Market dropped off, $7.45 for 4.1 or 4.3 miles, something like that. Got back to my zone, and I got a jam and jerk chicken. Breaking my rule again. I'm going to the mall. This one is okay though. It's not bad. It's $17.30 for 10.2 miles. So it's worth it, I guess. It's $12.10. I'm at I think about $66. So this will put me $83, $84, somewhere in that ballpark. So on our way to the mall, pick up some jerk chicken. We have arrived. Little Barnes and Nobles action. This is new here. 89th and Madison. Oh, it's not even open yet. Interesting. It used to be a shoe store. Can't remember what it was called. Zoomies again. Charlotte Russe. Hot Topic. Sketchy perfume store. Where we are going is all the way around the corner back here. Jam and Jerk Chicken. All these people are going to think that I'm recording them, so I'm going to put the phone down because people are already looking at me weird. Subway, Philly cheesesteaks, Charlie's, China Walk, Sbarro, teriyaki chicken, some chicken and fish spot, and jam and jerk. That's where we're going. Popular place. Well, I learned my lesson. I get there. I picked up from this place 2 or 3 times before and never had an issue. I get there, they're not busy. There's like 1 or 2 people with orders, and they're nice. It's like I told them I'm here for DoorDash for whatever. Okay, well, we're getting this started right now. Just so you know, we make everything fresh to order. But the whole spiel, like everything's made to order, which is great. Like for the customer, I guess. But not so great if you're a Dasher because they didn't start this until I got there. I ended up waiting, I think, almost 20 minutes, at least 15 minutes. So not only is it just a pain in the ass because it's in the mall, you're already a pain in the ass to pick up from. You're an extra pain in the ass because you make everything fresh to order. My guess, they never used to be like that. Stuff used to be like, not necessarily ready when I would show up to pick it up, but it'd be almost ready. My guess is they're having issues with people like not picking up orders and food sitting out too late because of bad tips or whatever. Or food sitting out too long and getting cold because of bad tips. That's what I'm assuming. So they start making everything fresh to order when the Dasher gets there. So that's just going to backfire because Dasher's just going to stop picking up from there because they're going to have a bad experience waiting 20 minutes. And most of these Dashers that are platinum and they're willing to accept anything, they're going to take their $4 order, walk in there, and then wait for 20 minutes, and they're going to get tired of that real fast and not pick up from there anymore. So unfortunately, that's probably what's going to happen. And they'll have to revert back to just making the orders as they come in. But anyway, and it smells amazing. The food, the place smells amazing. I'm just sitting at the counter waiting for the food. It smells outstanding. I want to go back there and get something on my own. But unfortunately, I mean, even with this being a pretty decent order, 17 and change for 10 miles, like, if this came through again, I would be declining. I'm not, it's costing me money, especially in the middle of the lunch rush. You know, it's that $17 order isn't nearly as sweet when you got to wait 15 minutes. So we're about halfway to the drop-off point, which is out of the zone. Unfortunately, / fortunately, it's 10 miles, but almost all of it is like highway driving, so everything's like 50 miles per hour plus. So it's actually a quick 10 miles, so that's a good thing. And then I'll head back to my zone and let you know what I get next. Jerk chicken dropped off. As you can see, the pay was heavily weighted by base pay, which is like I'm fine with that. That's really how it should be. They tipped $6. That should be enough of a tip, to be honest. Although, I mean, they're kind of far from where they ordered from, but it's the only jerk chicken place in the area. So it's the only, if you want jerk chicken, it's your only option. So, like, I'm not mad about it. The tip was $6. The dash pay was $11.30. I mean, that's how it should be, you know? Especially if you're going to let people order from that far away, like, you got to compensate the driver for that. You know, that's how it kind of used to be. I mean, because it used to be at least, I don't know about DoorDash, because I've only been on DoorDash for a few years now, but Uber Eats and Grubhub still is mileage pay. It's not good pay, but they at least compensate you a little bit the further the order is. I'll turn around so I can look at my face. Making our way back to Rockford. Why are we stopping at a green light? Well, hopefully this is going to slowly become the norm. I would imagine with the gas prices and the lack of drivers out there driving that they're having to do this more often. They're going to have to, you know, compensate more on their end. Compensate the drivers better. I had the also a mall order, a double stacked order a couple days ago for the teriyaki place. It was 2 orders, only $7 worth of tips, but it was $11 base pay. So that's a good sign. DoorDash is actually starting to hold up their end with all the ridiculous fees they charge the customer. That's how it should be. Like, they scrape so much off of the top on these orders. It's ridiculous. That's why the CO's worth like $5 billion or something crazy. Like, it's insane. So I'm happy with that. We're at about $84. I haven't really calculated it yet, but we got about 3 or 4 miles till we get back into Rockford here. 12:55, and that ended up taking like 40 minutes. 12:08, I accepted that. So that took about 45 minutes from when I accepted it to drop off. So that's not ideal. And that goes back to my rant about not starting the order till I got there. Anywho, it's still been an okay day for a Thursday. We should be able to get to $100 before 1. I would hope I can get 1 or 2 more offers at least. So I'll let you know when I get back into town. A little bit of frustration. It's now 1:20. I received an Uber Eats for nothing but cakes. $9 for 2.5 miles. So I jumped right on it, obviously. Of course, I get there and the customer cancels the order. And as I'm sitting there waiting for them to figure out where the order is, the order gets canceled on my phone. That is annoying. So I added up everything. We're at like $86. So a few dollars more than what I thought originally. So that's good. But it is now 1:20. And Not looking good for a $100 goal by 2 o'clock, actually. But does it really matter? Not really. Dinner will make up for it, most likely. I'm probably just going to stay out all through between now and the beginning of dinner rush. Might be slow, but I got nothing better to do than to sit here and wait around for orders, I guess. So I'll let you know when I get something. Well, they accepted another one. Not nearly as good as that Nothing But Cakes order that I got screwed out of. $8.50 for 6.8 miles. It's been 2 minutes since I last checked in with you, so I didn't have to wait long. Chipotle for $8.50, 6.8 miles. I don't know if I just said that. Not as good, but it'll do, I guess. I'll take you on the short drive with me. That's one of my spots that I normally sit at. It's an old Applebee's parking lot that now just in the last few months has turned into a Mongolian stir-fry place. Now here's pretty good. There's been a couple of new Mongolian stir-fry spots that have popped up around town in the last year. We tried the other one. It's called Super Bowl. Interesting name, but it was not bad. It's all you can eat Mongolian stir-fry with all you can eat sushi as well. And then they have like a bunch of appetizers. It's all part of the all you can eat package. It's like $27. It's actually not a bad deal. Sushi was decent. Wasn't the best sushi you've ever had, but it was all right for an all you can eat. Can't be mad. And then kids Mongolian bowl, which we got for my daughter, was only $10. You know, a typical Mongolian place where they give you the bowl and then you walk up to the counter and you stuff it with as much stuff as you can. It's pretty good. So as you can see, we're pulling into this strip mall where Chipotle is. This is also where Panera is, and then there's a ramen place that's not quite as popular as Panera and Chipotle. There's also a Cold Stone in this lot, and a sushi place that's somewhat popular. So this parking lot's always interesting. So many to-go orders at Chipotle. People are just constantly pulling in and out, so you really got to pay attention. According to DoorDash, this order is already ready, so hopefully that's the case. Let's go check it out. Chipotle acquired. All right, well, I got that dropped off, and I immediately got this offer that you should have just seen. $24 for 6 miles. It's technically 3 orders. It's 2 Walgreens pickups, which generally is just like 1 bag. Hopefully that's the case. And then it is shopping delivery for Dollar General, just 4 items. All easy items, although one of them is a 20-pound bag of cat food. But not too bad. And as it said on the screen, now that I'm a pro shopper, as of a couple days ago, that's why I'm getting this offer. So that's good news. So $24 for 6 miles. Look at me, doing shopping orders, what I said I would never do. I'm out here doing it. That's all right, though. This will put me at like at least $115, a little more than that, $118, something like that. So I don't know which Dollar General this is actually picking up from, or which Walgreens, so I better look. Oh, we made it to Walgreens. Clear out some stuff in the back here. This is the order. It says 2 items. So one item is 3 cases of water, and the other item is whatever is in this bag. At least it's not going to an apartment. I already checked that and confirmed that, so that's good. So I've arrived at Dollar General, and they notified me that I'm not paying with the red card that I typically pay for a DoorDash order with. How you doing? How are you? Getting hot, getting warm out there. Yes, it is. I like it though. It is a little warm in here. You're not lying. Anyway, I'm paying with a QR code, which I've never done before. I'm just wandering right now. I need to shop these items, but yeah. So this is a new experience. Wow. Well, that was worth it. The Walgreens order with The hardest one was the 3 cases of water, and then the bag was only a $4 tip, you know, whatever. Dash pay, as you saw, was $6.75, and then a $20 tip from the Dollar General order, which was really easy. It was just Ruffles, sour cream, distilled water, just a bottle of distilled water, and the cafe. That was amazing. Paid over $30. All right, well, that was more than good. Maybe these shopping orders aren't so bad, huh? Hey? As long as they're small, they're not like gonna take up a bunch of time, I guess. Anyways, that puts me at like, I don't know, $126. It's $2.19. So that's a nice little boost. We're way outside of like the zone though. Like we're not way outside of the zone, but we're far from restaurants. So it's gonna be a minute before we probably get anything. So I'll let you know. Hello again. I forgot to keep you all updated. I swear I've got an Uber offer in like 20 minutes, and as soon as I hit record, an Uber order comes through. So I finished the shopping order. Put me like $123, $124. And then I decided, oh, look, I'm by the river again. Let's go fishing. I found a new spot. I don't know how regularly I'll be visiting this spot, but it looked fishable. And I ended up hooking a pretty nice smallmouth. Got it all the way up to my feet, and it shook off. Probably 14, 16 inches. Not a bad smallmouth. And then about 20 minutes later, I hooked into something big. It was on a spinnerbait. It was like my second cast with a spinnerbait. I switched from a jig to a spinner. Sorry if you don't know anything about fishing, but to a spinnerbait. And it was big. I first hooked into it. I thought it was a snag because it was a very rocky part of the river. And then it started to tug, and then I'm like, oh my god! And I tried to set the hook a little better. It came to the top of the water, did like a spin and shook off. It was either like a gar or a northern, maybe. I mean, I guess it could have been a muskie, but I doubt it. But it was big. It would have been one of the bigger fish you've ever caught. And then I ended up catching a smaller smallmouth. I was down there for a couple hours. I didn't get a lot of bites, but it looks so fishable that like I gotta believe if you get down there at the right time, you'll catch some fish. So I fished until about 4 o'clock, a little after 4. Turned the apps back on. I did an Uber Eats 608 for like 3.4 miles. Not a good one, but it kind of brought me back towards my zone. I then got a nice Papa John's order. It was $10 for 4.8 miles up front. After delivery, it was $12.35. So a nice little hidden tip there. And now I've got this. I keep bashing mall orders. I keep bashing shopping orders. But now I keep accepting them. This is another jam and jerk from earlier. Jam and jerk. I took another risk because I'm an idiot. And batched with a Charlie's order. Charlie's cheesesteaks, which is they're right by each other in the mall. As you'll see in the video. Or as you saw in the video earlier. The jam and jerk order was basically ready. I was stood there for like 2 minutes. She was wrapping it up. Gave it to me. It was good to go. Charlie's order was ready. So, worked out great. The pay, $22 for 10 miles on this stacked order. So this is going to put us around the $180 mark. It is 5:50 p.m. We're crossing a river right now in case we want to go fishing again. This is actually going to Belvedere, the next town over. So I'll get this dropped off and we'll see what's happening at Belvedere. Maybe I'll get an offer out here. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. We'll see. Well, that worked out quite well. The total was $22.40 for both orders. They were pretty close to each other. They were within a mile of each other. I was just about to leave town. To the right here on this road is the way out of town and back to Rockford. Those of you who don't know where I work, now you do. Then I got this order that came through for Belvedere's Tom and Jerry's. Same place as the one in Rockford I picked up from earlier. But this one is obviously in Belvedere. $10 for 2.7 miles. It's like 9 items. It's all kinds of stuff. So potential for a hidden tip on this one. This will put us at least $190. Oh. Rubbing my eyes. I wasn't paying attention. So hell yeah, maybe we can hit $200 before we even leave Belvedere. Let's see what happens. So, I was ready to call it a... I was ready to call it a day. I was just driving home. Driving down the main drag here with all the restaurants. Willing to take something if something worth my time came through. And it did. Obviously I'm at Candy Cloud, which is the specialty drink store that we have here. This person ordered like those places. Oh my god. Give me a second. It's one of those places, they have like lemonades and like ice cream drinks. They put everything in like a can and they seal it themselves. It's got like the pop top. It's kind of a cool place. But it's one shake. Like a Reese's shake with like Reese's sauce and like cake crumbs in it. Like, I don't know, it's like a ice cream drink, so to speak. $11.15 for 4.8 miles. Oh, great. I accepted and get here. I didn't realize what was on the order till I got here. I was like, oh god, it's likely stolen. $11 for one little shake to be delivered? Like, that's a huge red flag. But it was sitting there waiting. So, my guess is that is a very poor tip and nobody was picking it up. So DoorDash boosted the pay way high to get somebody to take it, and I just happened to be the lucky one. That's what I'm guessing. But I'm going to get this dropped off and I'll let you know what happens. Well, that was just a very generous customer because that tip was $9. $2.50, 15-cent base pay with a $9 tip for that one drink. I don't know if I've ever had anything like that before. Appreciate them. Shout out to them. Holy cow. Like, that's too much, honestly. But I'm grateful. I don't really need to charge this, but we'll plug it in anyway. I think that's going to do it for today. That put me at, I believe, $204. It is 7:01, so finishing off right at 7 o'clock. Like I said at the beginning of the video, last Thursday was brutal. This Thursday was not. A lot of times it be that way sometimes. They might have a bad Monday, and then the next Monday it ends up being one of your better Mondays you ever had. You know, it's always different. You really never know what to expect. So, if you like my videos, please comment, like, and subscribe. Video I posted a couple days ago is doing really well. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I'll try to stay consistent with posting as close to every day as possible. Now, I'm out here working pretty much every day, at least parts of every day, so I could probably find a way to at least come up with a little bit of content. I appreciate y'all for watching. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do for dinner. We still don't know. I had my daughter Peyton pull out some ground beef. I really don't feel like cooking, but it's too damn expensive to go out to eat these days. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.